Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the October 7th edition of SIG Service Catalog. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We can go down the agenda. Looks like, Matthews, you put a couple things on here?
Yeah, that's correct. So basically, maybe the first one, just to inform you, on Friday, I created a beta release for Service Catalog. The second one, there was few enhancement and one bug fix. So new release should be created, but as you can see, I created also an issue that we are not able to release Service Catalog because of timeouts. So when we click the first issue, I describe in details what's going on. Basically, right now we are releasing Service Catalog using Travis CI. We have only one job called deploy, and that guy is responsible for building and pushing all our images. Basically, I also checked our history, and we were always really close to job timeout, because on Travis you have only 15 minutes to build and to finish your job. So right now we are not able to release because of timeout. I already created a request basically as a hotfix, so only the short-term solution. I just split our build by architecture. So right now we have 6 builds, and for that we are using Travis stages. In long-term solution, what we should do is to use Prow. Basically, with Prow, we are owning whole infrastructure. We can configure timeouts, and we can also make it concurrent. Right now, we have only two. We can have only 2 concurrent jobs, and that is also some kind of drawbacks. But basically, right now it will save us. So as a hotfix, it should work. You can also see that I tested that on our fork repository. So in comments, you will see that there is a link to our Travis, and yeah, at the bottom there should be a comment. Yeah, that one. So right now, as you can see, instead of one deploy job, we have 6 of them. I'm correct? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6 for each architecture, and 1 for SVCAT CLI. Thanks to that, we are not hitting the timeout. That's the first solution that I have in my mind.
Sounds fine.
Okay, so this is the one thing. Last on the agenda is just to inform you that we have 3 tasks in progress. One is about removing unused API server implementation from master branch. Second one is to just enhance the current CI pipelines for migration and end-to-end test. Basically, I just want to add cluster dump to each pipeline. So in case of failure, we will have all logs, all artifacts from cluster, thanks to that we can debug that, why it's failing. It's just some safety for a future. And the last one, and last but not least, is a cascade deletion. I already mentioned that. I think that we create one issue that some umbrella issue to just discuss that thing. Basically, in past there was, I think, 2 or 3 issues describing that thing, and right now we have also a future request from our customers to add something like that, but we need to discuss the implementation, how we want to introduce that in Service Catalog. So basically, I will create an issue, then, I don't know, ask someone on Slack channel, send to mailing list to have some feedback about that. Maybe you already have some feedback how it should be created, behave, that's such cascading deletion.
I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look to see if there's anything else that is linked like this in like regular Kubernetes.
Unfortunately, no, because in case of deployment, it's like deployment is creating replica set creating pods. In our case, user creates service instance and user also creates service bindings.
I don't care that the user's creating it versus it's automatically being created. It still means that like
Yeah,
they're intrinsically linked.
yeah, that's true. And basically, so there is already a first implementation. Just already created a request for that. And in that case, we just want to have a feature flag on service log. When someone will have such feature flag enabled, then when you deleting service instance, then underlying service bindings will be deleted automatically. And in future, make it as default. So that's the question. If there is a case that someone wants to somehow have a current situation, like you are deleting the service instance and
So
it's
what
blocked,
happens right now? Does it delete the service instance or does it give you an error?
yeah, it's giving an error saying that you have underlying service bindings. So first of all, you need to remove connected service binding manually.
Well, then I guess we can't make that the default behavior then. That would be a breaking change.
Yeah, it will be. And that's the case how to discuss that, because in our case, our PO is saying that he wants to just have the cascade deletion and don't care about deleting that manually. The question is, if someone from community wants to have that current behavior, that service instance is blocked when there is some service bindings instead of removing all those things. That's the question. Because even right now, if you delete service instance, you cannot be reverted. What you can do only is to just delete the underlying service binding, nothing more. You cannot create new bindings for this service instance. You also cannot upgrade that. You cannot do anything with it because it's already marked as deleted, but only finalizers is keeping that instance in etcd storage. So you can only, after executing delete action, you can only describe that service instance, nothing more. And that was the question from my PO saying, if you cannot revert that, so what is the case to just have it such blockade, right?
I mean, that's a problem we've known for a while called the irreversible delete problem. We don't currently have a solution for it. The solution is you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of discussion around this several times, like a year ago, maybe, and then like even further back before I joined. And without putting too fine a point on it, there wasn't really an agreement on a solution to it. We just kind of kept putting it off and putting it off and never really solved it.
Mm-hmm.
The simplest ways to solve it are probably to add some very non-standard behavior, like intercepting all delete requests to our object types and replacing them with a flag on the object that says to be deleted, and then like go do stuff on the back end before marking it as actually deleted. But a lot of people really didn't like that idea because it's very not Kubernetes-like or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So nothing ever actually happened.
Okay, so basically, I read one of those issues linked by Morgan, and I saw that there was face-to-face meeting, and just like agreement was that just to delete that. So if you have service instance with connected service bindings, delete all of them in case of deleting service instance. So probably maybe we can just proposal was to just create an umbrella issue, grouping those issue regarding cascade deletion, implement current behavior with a future flag, and then, I don't know, evaluate that, discuss with community, and maybe just, if there will be no objections, then just enable that behavior by default.
I don't know if we can enable it by default. That seems like it might be a poor decision because it's still breaking behavior.
Yeah, it will be. Not, it will be something breaking the contract. But the current problem is that even if you have current contract, right, you block the deletions, it's still not save you because the object is already marked as deleted. So even if you have it, you cannot do anything with that. So it's still not a good behavior, right? But yeah, I think that somehow it should be finally finished, that story, and maybe just having that feature flag together with umbrella issue and asking community about feedback. What are you thinking about it? What are your use cases for that? Maybe then we can somehow go further with that and find some use cases and then implement correct behavior. But because right now, our customers, our users, saying that it's really problematic if they need to go back to different view, delete underlying service bindings, and do
What's the
all those.
problem for you if it's a feature flag and you have to turn it on? What's the problem there?
No, it's not a problem. I'm just saying it can be like that for at the beginning, but the case for feature flags is like basically after some time they should be enabled by default, right? Because it's only the feature gate um, for some features like that one, just to have it in alpha, in beta, and then finally enabled by default, right?
I guess.
Yeah, so that was the kind of proposal for evolution for that feature to at the beginning have it in a alpha state. Thanks to that, we can even discard that current approach. But maybe if there will be only there will be no problems from community, then we can maybe in future enable that in default.
Okay.
Just a case, but probably PK PO from my team will try to drive this topic because he has also some use cases, business use cases to just share with others, and maybe he will discuss all those things with community.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds good.
yeah, that's the current status that we are working on. The most critical is probably the blocker for release. So if you have some time, please take a look on that.
I mean the splitting just looks fine. I'll
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
just go ahead and merge that.
super cool.
Okay, do we have anything else to talk about? Have you taken a look at the slides for the intro deep dive sessions at all?
Not yet, but I think that this week I will have a time because right now only the last release from Catalog is on my
Okay.
task list. So, and do you have some idea about it? Basically, you want to split those presentation. Basically, right now we have intro and deep dive, and for example, you want to present together intro and deep dives, or how you see it?
Well, I think that the easiest would be just to have one of us do one and the other do the other.
Okay, you have some preferences?
I don't care.
Okay, so I just take a look on the slides and because basically both slots have half an hour, right?
I think it's 35 minutes, yeah.
35, okay. So that's the same slots. Yeah, I think that for me it also will be no matter which one. Maybe even the deep dives, maybe then I can discuss a little bit the story about CRDs, but still we can also align on it.
I mean, yeah, that might be good. Because the last time it was we were talking about how we're going to do CRDs and now we're in the middle of it. So yeah, you might be able to expand upon that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
Does it?
Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about? Okay. I guess that's it for today then.
Yep.